Thank you for coming. Please stand for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us come to this wonderful school and always keeping us safe throughout the year. Please help us to remember that we are studying to do your work. Please let us remember the story of how Daniel studied with your wisdom and became the highest governor of the strongest kingdom. And also the text, Proverb 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Please be with us as we graduate into high school and beyond. Guide us and bless us as we move on to learn even more. Even if we don't all go to one school, we trust that you will be with each and every one of us, everywhere, every time. Amen.
Welcome, families, friends, staff members, and fellow students. On behalf of our class, I would like to thank you all for attending our graduation. We're all here for one goal, and that is to prepare ourselves for a better future, academically and spiritually. That goal has been accomplished here so far. We haven't just learned math, history, English, and science. We've also learned how to be better Christians and how to maintain a strong relationship with Jesus. We've learned life skills, like how to forgive, how to be yourself, and how to stand up for what's right. And over the years of accomplishing these goals and learning, we've made so many memories, and some of them will last us a lifetime. Like the long bus rides, having fun at Lyft, visiting the Kalahari, the cave, and going shopping on our class trip, long history classes with Mr. Martin, those embarrassing moments in front of the class, and just from being together 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 180 days a year. And now we are all sharing the start of a new chapter in our lives. This means saying goodbye to some as we move on and go our separate ways, but we form friendships that distance can't break. And as we say goodbye, it's not necessarily the end, but actually a new beginning. And no matter where our lives may take us or what dreams we choose to pursue, we can always look back to these years and remember the times we've shared as the class of 2014.
During PE this year, we realized that our sports equipment was getting pretty old, older than the people using it. So we invested in some new equipment, high quality basketball and football. So far we have enjoyed them, and we hope that students will enjoy them for the years to come.
Welcome once again to our 8th grade graduation. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge the hardworking, dedicated teachers at Village School for all their time and effort they have given us over the years, and for teaching us to be God-loving, sometimes intelligent individuals that we are today. Pearl and I will start with Mr. Cruz, the music teacher, and make our way up to 8th grade.
Mr. Cruz, you are so talented in both music and in calming us down when we've gotten riled up. Your patience must be endless. Thank you for all your dedication from our musical performances at church. You taught us how to play recorders in 4th grade, helped us learn the notes in order to play bells and chimes, and trained our voices from sounding, well, not so great, to the point where we earned applause where we performed together in the school choir. We couldn't have asked for a better music teacher. Thank you.
Mrs. Stevenson, as a class, we'd like to thank you for teaching us Spanish, although at times we know this wasn't easy. The endangered animal posters you helped us create was a great project and also really fun. Some of the things we look forward to was show and tell and the fun times we would have at recess. Thank you.
Mrs. Wineland Ferson, some of the things we remember from 2nd grade are the fun soccer games we played. We also look forward to the parties where we would get to eat pizza and hang out with friends. Thank you for reading to us after recess and helping us make fun crafts. We admired how you always paid attention to detail, like when one of us lost a tooth. You would make us feel special by writing down the date. Thank you.
Mrs. Reichert, our awesome field trip to Chicago was one of our best memories of 3rd grade, where we got to visit the Science and Industry Museum and learn a lot. We also remember the Indian projects we did and all the fun memories in the loft. Thank you for helping us accomplish the project of making the globes, although at times we know it got extremely challenging to keep us all under control. Thank you.
Mrs. Curry, raising chickens was a great experience for us and extremely fun. We got to watch them grow and we learned how to take care of them and feed them. Thank you for all the fun memories we had at the Literature's Lovers Lunch and for helping us learn our states and capitals. You made multiplying and fun by introducing a new method of quizzing math called Mad Minute. We loved your passion for animals and we looked forward to the times when you would bring in your frisky and adorable puppies. Thank you.
Mrs. Crick, we enjoyed getting to take care of and feed Izzy, the bearded dragon, who was our class pet. We also remember the fun art class we had, where we got to create and design birds out of wood. The flower bulb fundraiser was a great experience for us, and it taught us responsibility and money skills. Thank you for taking us to outdoor ed at Camp Au teaching us good study habits, and for putting up with us, even if we were loud and crazy sometimes. Thank you.
Ms. G, you always made science easy to understand by explaining it fully, and you made it creative and fun by adding hands-on assignments. Thank you for making slideshows so we could get a deeper understanding of what we needed to learn. Because of you, we now have better study techniques and great ideas for future projects. Thank you.
Mr. Kalita, we have had so many fun memories from 7th grade, from building toothpick bridges to designing mousetrap cars. Thank you for making our future a little bit easier by teaching us the finance skills from Dave Ramsey. We remember the Bible labs we did when we contributed to the community and showed God's love by doing yard work and other odd jobs. We really enjoyed the times when we got to play softball or football outside. You didn't just tell us how to play the sport, you played with us and watched us excel. Thank you.
Mr. Martin, thank you for making our last year at Village School so special. You made sure that we would be ready for Academy by giving us extremely hard history tests, insanely long math periods, and an insightful Bible class that helped us understand more of God's plan for our lives. Your sense of humor would always brighten the day, although sometimes it leaned towards the embarrassing side.
Thank you for taking a few of us to Taco Bell and then to your house, where we got to demonstrate exactly how good or bad we were at ping pong. Our best memories definitely come from class trip, where we visited Seneca Caverns, Lime Village, and the Kalahari. Thank you again for being a wonderful teacher. We love you.
Thinking back on all of the times we have let you down, it would be no surprise if we were at the service alone. Yet you are still here, shedding tears as we take this next step in our life, encouraging us to excel and move forward. It is because of God's grace working through you that we are here. Your sacrifices, faithful prayers, and patience gave us stepping stones to reach our goals. When we made wrong turns and bad decisions, you were right beside us, lifting up our heads and lending a shoulder to cry on. You saw us as who we were to become and did not limit us to just what could be seen on the outside.
You have invested in us financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In every way that one can pour themselves into another person, you have devoted yourself to us. You knew from the start that we would not be able to return the same measure of love that you have for us, yet your compassion for us still runs deep, surpassing time, age, and wrongdoings. Thank you for guiding us and training us and shaping us in the way that we should go. Your seeds of encouragement have been planted and have already begun to grow. Thank you for your consistent faithfulness to us. You have been key players in our revelation of the love of our Heavenly Father. Through you, He has given us a taste of His love for us, and through us, He has shown you a fraction of His remarkable love for you. In everything He does, He has a plan, and His purposes never fail.
As we close this door and open another, we want to thank you for your sacrifices, discipline, and love. These roses are a symbol of our gratitude and love for you. Your prayers and presence in our lives have changed us. Thank you.
Parents, when we call your child's name, please stand up. David Fernandez.
Dad, I'm always going to remember all of the little chats you have with me and the hilarious jokes you say when we're doing whatever project you're working on. And there's quite a few of those projects. Also, there's a breakfast you get up so early to make for Nathan and me every single morning. Although it bugs me when you yell at me when I'm not even 50 feet from the kitchen. You're still the best dad ever. Mom, you've always been there for me, no matter what mood I'm in. You worry all the time about everything I do, and I know it's only because you care about me. You mean so much to me. You're the best mom I could have ever asked for. I know I don't have much to say about you, because a lot of it's already been said. If I had the time to thank you guys for every little thing you've done, I would. There's just too many moments to remember. You've already done so much for me, and you will continue doing more in the not too distant future. I love you guys so much, and 2 words can't explain how I feel. It's gonna have to do for now. Thank you.
Ethan Drew.
Mom, the first thing I want to thank you for is, ironically, waking me up before my alarm clock set off. No, really, it's true. Because you woke me up, I was actually able to get to school on time. And honestly, it's these examples of tough love, which though I was annoyed by at the time, when I look back at them, I am grateful for. Thank you, Mom, for always working to get me through Christian education. And even though I was sometimes a pain, You always patiently took the time to instill me good habits. Mom, if I can take with me a tenth of what you taught me, I know in my heart of hearts that I will succeed in life. Thank you. I love you, Mom.
Crystal Collins.
Mom and Dad, I want to thank you for giving me the best life ever and for always showing me who God is. Mom, thank you for always pushing me to strive for the best, even though I didn't always want to. Thank you for encouraging me to practice all my instruments. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be playing any at all. So I want to thank you for helping me to cultivate my musical gifts. You've always encouraged me to do the best in everything and to always do the maximum. You've helped me equip me with several skills in my life, and I can never thank you enough for that. Dad, thank you for always taking the time to play with me, no matter how tired or exhausted you were. You always took the time to push me on the swing or jump on the trampoline with me. You've taught me that life isn't just work and that you can take a break once in a while. You have shown me that with God you can always do anything, no matter how impossible it might seem. Thank you both so much for being so patient with me when I may make mistakes and always being there for me. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. If I could write down all the things on paper that you've ever done for me, the world would run out. So finally, I just want to thank you all for everything that you've done, and I love you a lot.
Philip Kissinger.
Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for helping me throughout the years. Even through the times I have given up hope of getting my grades up. You made me study and study until I thought I was going insane. And after school was out and the summer was almost over, we would go to the antique shop and pick out some nasty table or chair. I enjoyed tearing it apart. Then we got out the stripper and started taking off the varnish, and then we sanded until the wood was smooth. That's only one of the examples of the many projects we've did together. Thanks for taking over Pathfinders when the last leaders retired. Thanks for doing all of this with me. Most of all, thanks for putting me in Village. I had a lot of fun.
Lisa Johnston.
Mom and Dad, first off, I want to thank you for all the things, little and big, you've done for me. I want you to know that I really appreciate all the support and confidence I've gotten from you over the years. Dad, you've always helped me on all my projects, from cashing in cans to get some money, to building chicken coops and helping me fix up hopelessly old computers. You've always helped me out on everything. Mom, thanks for taking time from your busy work to do cool science labs with me. I can imagine how frustrating it must be when I walk into your room at 10 and announce I have a big test tomorrow that I haven't really studied for, and hand you a list of things I need you to test me on. I don't think I would be here today if it weren't for you two. I love you so much.
Kaylee Alonso.
Mom and Dad, I cannot thank you enough for all that you've done for me throughout the years. You've always been there for me and shown me support and unconditional love, even when I don't deserve it. Mom, you homeschooled me when I was little and took the time to teach me both academics and life lessons. You always drove me around to the library, piano lessons, swimming classes, and everything else. You've always been a great role model for my life, especially in the spiritual aspects. Even if I don't always express it, I appreciate everything that you do for me, and I can't ask for a more loving and understanding mom. Dad, you showed me how to be a hard worker and how to always do my best. In some way, people say that I'm a lot like you, and I hope I can live up to that. I'll always remember the Sundays that we would spend together when Mom was at work, all the fun things that we've done throughout the years, and all the great places that you've taken our family. I love you both very much.
Taewon Kim.
Dad, thank you for allowing us to come to this country and learn so much. You were always trying to give me what is best. You were always trying to help me with my problems, and you were the biggest help that I could get. Thank you for giving me a chance to experience a new world. And every time I needed help or ideas, you were always there to help me. And you also taught me how to be thankful for little things. And whenever I had questions about the Bible, you always gave me a good lesson. You are the teacher. You are the teacher of my life. I love you. Mom, thank you for always being there when I needed you. You were always loving, and you were the best cook in the world. You helped me so much in the life in USA. When I was discouraged, you were always the one that gave me energy to start again. Most of all, I thank you for treating me like the best son in the world. Thank you for being the best parent ever. I love you both. And I also thank you, God, who is my Heavenly Father.
Levi Woodard.
First off, I'd like to thank you guys for everything you've done for me, like supporting me and all the things I like to do no matter how crazy they are, teaching me how to do new things, driving me places, and sending me to a nice Seventh-day Adventist school. Dad, thank you for teaching me how to play basketball, dirt bike, and many, many other things. Mom, thank you for looking out for me and protecting me like the time you stopped me from becoming a human bowling ball. But more importantly, thank you for doing your absolute best every single day to make me the best person I can possibly be.
Julie Kelly.
Dad, thank you for always pushing me to do my best, even when I did not appreciate it, which I often didn't. Like the time you made me go ziplining in St. Lucia, and I was terrified of going, and you made me go anyways. I'm thankful you did, because I had a lot of fun going. I've enjoyed going on countless canoe trips with you, and I hope we can go again soon. If there's one thing I've learned from you, it's how to work hard and get by with what you have. I know that I can be very stubborn, and sometimes I've learned the majority of my lessons the hard way. You've taught me how to do better next time, and that failure isn't an option. Thank you so much for all you do and have taught me and everything you've given me the opportunity to do. I love you. Mom, thank you for always having time out of your busy schedule to listen to me. I really appreciate having someone to talk to. I know you always have my best interest in mind, and I'm very thankful. From the time I entered the world on October 5, 1999, up until our recent move to Michigan, you've always been there to comfort and encourage me. Going on mission trips around the world with you and Dad has taught me to appreciate what I have and to never judge people by their appearances, wealth, or position. Thank you so much for all your time, energy, and money that has been invested in me. I love you so much. Mom and Dad, I could never repay you for all you've done for me, and I'm so thankful to have you both as my parents. You and my 3 brothers are the most important people to me, and you mean the world to me. I love you.
Allison Barnum.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for sending me to an Adventist school. The time, money, and patience you put into my future is priceless. And it has shaped me into the Christian that I am today, and it will bring me closer to God throughout the rest of my life. Dear Mama, thank you for taking me out to lunch all the time, for letting me skip school so we can spend time together. Thank you for putting up with my stupidity and my sarcastic comments, and for still loving me even when I'm overly dramatic when my hair isn't working out just right. Thank you for putting up with my annoying music and for taking care of me when I'm sick. Dear Daddy, thank you for letting me get a dog, even though that probably wouldn't have been your first choice. Thank you for putting up with my constant begging and pleading when I want something. And thank you for always making me laugh. I love you both and couldn't have asked God for better parents than you.
Molly Kurtz.
Over the past 14 years, you've been to countless sporting events, a couple dozen school performances, and a handful of dance recitals, some being more painful than others. But yet, there you were supporting me in all I did. You have put up with my snarky sarcasm, my stubbornness, and what you've called my free spirit all this time, and I still don't know how you guys have done it. Mom, thank you for running back and forth between friends' houses, practices, and games, for helping me out with school projects the night before they're due, for helping my friends and I through pointless drama, and just offering a smile when I'm feeling down. Dad, thank you for attempting to answer all my ridiculous questions that never have a simple answer, for telling me not to worry about tomorrow because today had enough things to worry about. When people tell me I'm a lot like you, it always puts a smile on my face. Through the years, you guys have stood by my side, have taught me to stand for what I believe is right, regardless of the people around me, and you've taught me not to give up on anything. Thank you both for investing time in me as a person and as a Christian. I know that I don't tell you guys enough, but I really do appreciate all the things you do for me and my sisters. I hope that I'll continue to be the person you guys have taught me to be. I love you both.
Nate Greenhall.
Mom and Dad, well, first off, I would like to say thank you for everything you guys have done for me, valuing my education and putting me in a good school, and also believing in me no matter how ridiculous my ideas may have been, for always standing by me no matter what, and always doing what is best for me. Mom, thanks for all the freedom you give me and allow me to make my own decisions, and for always going out of your way to help me. I am very thankful for all your advice that you have given me to try to help me now, in the present, but also in the future. And thank you for always coming out and supporting me during my basketball games. Dad, you have taught me the importance of hard work, to never give up, whether it be in school, sports, or anything else. I am very thankful for all your help and support in sports and school throughout the years, and taking your precious time to help me whenever I'm in need. I really appreciate you getting up every morning and going to work to provide for us, even though your work is sometimes very stressful. I thank you for the love and support that you guys have given me and the opportunities that you have provided for me. I can never thank you enough for all you have done for me.
Nick Collard.
So first of all, the two best things about my parents are that they're super loving and supportive. Although they show it in different ways that I don't always understand, I still know they do. Dad, you have shown me the importance and advantages of hard work and striving to do my best in everything so that in the long run I can accomplish my dreams. Mom, you have taught me to be always patient and kind and to always be thankful for what I have. Also, thank you for giving me the freedom to choose between right and wrong. I really appreciate that. I hope to be able to carry out each and every one of your qualities and everything I do so that one day I can be half the individual as you are.
Sophia Dunkirk.
Dear Mom, you've always been there for me.
listening to any problem I have, and knowing just what to say to make me feel better. We've always been super close, and I feel like I can tell you anything. Thank you for coming to my softball games, working hard so that I can go to an Adventist school, and for helping me with math, even when I didn't understand the concepts and you had to explain it 4 times. But most of all, thank you for truly loving me. You're my one and only mom, and I'll always have a special place for you in my heart. I love you, Mom. Dear Dad, you're truly my hero. Ever since I was a little girl, I've thought the world about you. I remember when you would tuck me in at night and when you would raise me up on your shoulders, and that would bring me joy, because for a few seconds, I was taller than you. Thank you for driving me places, staying up late to help me with the school assignment, encouraging me in sports, and for just being there when I needed you. I love you, Dad. Mom and Dad, I can remember my first day of kindergarten. You both sent me off with a bag filled with books and markers, a lunch, and 2 big hugs. And now I'm about to graduate from 8th grade. I couldn't have made it this far without you, and I'm so proud to be your kid. I can never thank you guys enough for all you've done for me and for all the sacrifices you made, but I hope this tribute has given you both a glimpse of how much I care and of how much I love you.
Sophia Miller.
Mom and Dad, first of all, I want to thank you. Thank you for believing in me, and supporting me, for not giving up on me that day you learned I had diabetes, and for continuing to help me with it no matter how much it hurt you to see me going through it. I'm sorry for all those sleepless nights. Thank you for giving me the best education you can and for spending your well-earned money on anything I need. Thank you for putting up with me and all the sleepovers with friends, for playing hide and seek with Maddie, Lou, and I in the dark, even though you were tired. Mom, I'm sorry I've bugged you about jeans. And Dad, thank you for all those dates. Captain America is now one of my favorite. Thank you, and I love you both.
Kelton Wales.
Dear Mom, thank you for all the times you put up with my seemingly endless procrastination. Like when I was writing my first English story and trying to finish it at 11:30 at night, or the night before my first major history presentation, and I didn't have much work done at all and didn't know what to do next. Or when I wanted to go to a friend's house after school and you would let me. And thank you for all the times you've helped me with my schoolwork. Dad, thank you for teaching me a hard work ethic, even when sometimes I was slacking majorly in that area, and for times when I was hoping desperately not to have to go to work because I'd be really tired and just wanted to sleep all day. You would call me and tell me I'd have to work. Thanks for all the vacations and hobbies we went on, and for encouraging me through all the sports and hobbies we do. I really do appreciate everything both of you have done for me, even though at times it seems like I don't. I would have liked to try and list everything both of you have done for me, but that would take days.
Daniel Marsh.
Mom, words cannot express how truly grateful I am for all you have done for me. From helping me do homework late at night to taking me to buy four-wheelers and guns. You're always there for me with advice or just to talk. The last few years have been tough on us all, but somehow we pulled through it and came out better, stronger people. You have sacrificed so much to raise me in a good Christian home and to make me happy. Dad, even though you're not here with us today, I still want to thank you for being the best dad I could hope for. You taught me so much about horses, tractors, and just life in general. You are always there for us, and I can't thank you enough for all you did. I look forward to our family reunion in heaven. Where we can live together without sin or pain. I can never thank you both enough. I love you.
Bush.
Dad, thank you for all the things you do for me, like building Noe and I our gorgeous room with spiral wooden staircase, making dangerous 4-foot stilts, and never giving up on my silly little endeavors. I may not show it as much as I should, but I really do appreciate you always being there to encourage me and always being positive in every situation. Mom, thank you for putting up with all my sassiness the last 14 years. You are fun, loving, and filled with lots of ideas on how to make everything that's impossible work. Thank you for the endless nights of sitting in the kitchen table, either calming me down for a presentation the next day, or just laughing and having a good time painting my nails. I really do appreciate you always being there for me. Thank you both for working hard for me so I can live on a beautiful farm with lots of animals, and raising me up to love Jesus. I love you both very much.
Rebecca Thomas.
Mom, thank you for everything you do, for working long and crazy hours just so we could pay for anything we wanted or needed, for getting up every morning just to wake me up, even if you only have to go to work at 1 in the afternoon that day. For all the times I've been in a terrible mood, but you still put up with me. For sacrificing so much so that both Jake and I could go to an Adventist school, and for always making sure I'm okay. I could never thank you for everything that you do. And even though I don't show it all the time, I really do appreciate it. I love you.
Ben Dronin.
Dear Mom, thank you for always running me around wherever I need to go, for always helping me out when I forgot about a school project until the night before, and for coming to all my games and cheering me on faithfully. Dear Dad, thank you for teaching me the values of hard work, for taking us all boating and snowboarding whenever we want, and for helping coach Redbirds. I will always appreciate your patience with me when I am a reluctant worker. Thank you both for sending me to an Adventist school so that I would become a better Christian. I know that at times it seems like I don't appreciate everything that you sacrifice for me, but I do appreciate it with all my heart. I know that at times I fail you with a poor or arrogant attitude, but thank you for trying to help me build character and for loving me unconditionally. Words cannot even begin to describe how much I appreciate you and respect you, but I've done my best to sum it up in 3 words. I love you.
Andrew McLaughlin.
Mom, thank you for encouraging me during the years that I have been at Village School. Also, thank you for picking me up after school each day, even though you didn't come necessarily early sometimes. Thanks for dealing with my attitude when I come home and just want to relax, but you make me do all my work first. And for the great lunches you always pack. I'm going to miss them next year. Dad, thank you for taking us to school every morning and not being late for 4 years in a row. I could have never done it without you, even though you always leave it every morning and somehow get us here on time. Dad, also thanks for teaching me to work hard at everything I do, because sometimes I just don't want to do it, and you make me. Thanks for the sports you put me in, and thanks for teaching me that how you practice is how you will perform. Thank you for all the great opportunities you have given me, and sometimes I sound like I don't appreciate it, but today I want to tell you how grateful I really am. And there's so much more I can mention, but it would take me forever to mention it all.
Pearl Arkazinski.
Dad, first of all, I want to thank you so much for being the mom in my life, even though cooking might not be your thing. When times have been hard, we've stuck together and you've supported me through everything. Thank you for pointing me in the right direction for the future, so one day I might be as successful as you. Well, the beginning of my teenage years have started, and you survived it so far, but there are still more to come. Dad, usually it gets on my nerves when you would say, turn off the TV and go make some memories. But you were right, as usual, and I have lots of memories to look back on and have a great laugh. Thank you for shaping my life around Christ and pushing me to succeed. I know it's difficult when we want to visit family because they live halfway across the country, but sometimes the longer the trip, the more memories we make, and there have been a lot of fun ones. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I love you.
Emmy Gustafson.
Mom and Dad, I'd like to thank you for being there for me. Through all my bad moods and sass, through all my sleepovers with friends, and even though I'm always cranky the next day, you aren't. Thanks for all those last-minute arrangements that you squeezed into your busy schedule just for me. Thanks for dropping what you're doing to help me. Thank you both for spending your money on a Christian education for me. Thank you, Mom, for giving me a shoulder to cry on, whether it be from a bad day at school or if I'm just sad. Thank you for taking me shopping, even if you didn't feel like it. Thanks for making me laugh. You can always make me laugh. Thank you, Dad, for helping me with my crafts when I was little, and for supporting my art for the fair. Thank you for helping me with anything from computers to sewing to school projects to braiding. You guys have supported me through all these years, and this simple thank you isn't enough. But I want you to know, even when I'm rude, I love you with all my heart. You guys mean the world to me. You've taught me well, and I hope to carry on these values through the rest of my life. I love you.
Smiley Tam. Dear Grandma and Grandpa, thank you for being my guiding light in the dark, for giving me a roof over my head, delicious food in my stomach, and a good education. You work hard and do everything you can so I can get the best. And even though you are busy or tired, you've always made room for me, being there just to listen when I need someone. For giving me the greatest advice, making me laugh and smile after a rough day. Grandpa, I always look up to you. You're the smartest person I know. You set your goals high, and you accomplish them, no matter how hard or impossible they seem. You inspired and encouraged me to keep going when I felt like giving up. You always had patience with me, and you were always willing to spend countless hours after work each night just to help me understand math. Grandma, not only are you my grandma, but you're also my mom and my best friend. I always admire you for being there for people when they are in need, giving them cookies, cakes, or just a simple hug when they need one. You taught me to fight for what I believed in, and you always gave me a shoulder to cry on, letting me know that the world wasn't crashing down around me, or a hug even when I've made mistakes you've warned me about. I will never be able to repay you both for all that you have done for me, all that you have sacrificed, the wisdom you have shared, and the kindness and love you have shown me. Without you, I'd be nowhere near the person I am today.
I'd like to invite the 8th grade graduates and their parents to stand for a prayer of dedication. Lord, thank you for these tributes that have come from the hearts of these young men and women that express the admiration and the love that's bound up in their early part of their life. Thank you, Lord, for the faithful parenting and teaching that has gone on in these homes, and I pray as the parents become ever more a coach, as the children become men and women completely, they have the wisdom and the courage, the timeliness and the tactfulness, but also the firmness and the dedication to you to help guide the feet of these young men and women into true adulthood. Thank you for the beauty of this moment, the love expressed, all as a small window on who you are to us, and how large your heart is for us. Bless us now as we go forward as parents into the next part of this journey. In Jesus' name, amen.
Our class nominated a person who we all find to be a good teacher, confidant, and friend. We all agree that our 7th grade year was one of the greatest years we had at Village, full of math marathons, interesting science classes, and long breaks. He loves math, science, technology, and most of all, our class. I consider him to be my own personal mentor. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Aaron Kalita.
Good evening. I am very honored that class of 2014 that you nominated me. A little surprised that you want to hear me on an evening that you're not required to hear me speak. But I am honored and grateful nonetheless. I want to start tonight by asking all of you a question. I would like you to think for a minute and raise your hand if you've ever done something for 1 hour straight. Could be anything. Have you ever done something for 1 hour straight? All right. Short attention spans, it seems, but most of you did. Most of you have done that. That seems like an accomplishable goal. Keep your hands up and drop them as I hit different time marks. I want to see at what point you've not accomplished them. So how about 4 hours straight? Have you ever done? And it could be anything. I suppose even sleep. You can count sleep if you want. So let's say 4 hours. Everyone's there for 4 hours at some point. Hopefully. Okay, how about 10 hours? Have you ever done something for 10 hours straight? I would love to play golf for 10 hours straight. Okay, how about 20 hours straight? I still see a hand up in the back. All right, how about 30 hours straight? Am I losing anybody? I still see a hand up. I can't imagine what you did for 30 hours straight. Anyone do something more than 50 hours straight? We're talking more than 2 straight days worth of time here. Okay. This really would have ruined my talk if somebody had their hand up at this point, so I'm glad that everyone has their hand down. I'm going to tell you a story. Diana was an interesting woman. She wasn't interesting because she was an Olympic athlete. She wasn't interesting because she could sing better than anybody. She wasn't interesting because she was a supermodel who got everyone's attention. That's not why she was interesting. She had a very important component in her life that contributed to her description as interesting. She had an extraordinary level of commitment. Her friends described her as having amazing internal energy, incredible mental and physical strength, and a will of iron. Diana Nyad stood on a white sandy beach of Havana, Cuba, looking out over the vast body of water that lay in front of her. She was not in Havana on vacation. She wasn't in Havana to enjoy the nice sand, to enjoy the clear crystal water. She stood on a beautiful beach about to embark on an epic journey that would change her life forever. This was not the first time this journey had been attempted by other people. This was, in fact, not even the first time that Diana had attempted this journey. This was the 5th time that Diana had stood on that same beach, looking out over that same body of water with that same final goal in mind. The 5th time. Her first attempt was back when she was 28 years old. However, she was not 28 anymore. Some 35 years later, Diana was now 64 years old. Having attempted this feat once in her 20s, 3 more times after she turned 60, she stood at this moment ready to attempt a swim from Cuba all the way to Florida. the Key West, Florida. It was a 53-hour swim. It ended up being a 53-hour swim through what is known as the Florida Straits, the body of water known as the Florida Straits. This water is, it's a 110-mile stretch of water that's full of sharks. It's full of very, very potent jellyfish and many, many other predator fish. She would not be swimming in a shark cage like people that have tried it before her. She would be swimming all on her own. She would have a team of people surrounding her. She would not be able to touch a boat or get out of the water at any point for this swim to count. All of the experts, the scientists, sports scientists, neurologists, endurance experts, even her own team said that this was an impossible feat, could not be done. Diane's previous swims had been cut short by violent storms, strong currents, jellyfish stings that had left her face swollen and almost disfigured. The naysayers, they didn't bother Diana. And on that day in 2013, she entered the water and started that journey with one single stroke. She had a team alongside her, like I said, and throughout the entire journey, that team would stay by her side, give her nourishment, give her water, and continue to check on her to make sure that she could continue in this journey. Diana swam the same way that everybody seems to exercise these days. She had an iPod, and she had headphones underneath her swim cap playing her favorite song. She had a playlist. Now, like I said, it was a 53-hour swim. So think for a second how many songs you would need to survive a 53-hour swim. I think you'll be surprised she only had 85 songs on her playlist. For the entire swim, 85 songs. 53-hour swim meant that she was swimming a little more than 2 full days and 2 full nights. During the day, the sun beat down on Diana, dehydrating her to the point where her body started to swell. At night, she was swimming in pitch black. It's that kind of dark, not the kind where the moon is real bright and you can almost see anything you want to. This was the kind of dark where you couldn't see your hand an inch in front of your face, that kind of dark. She's looking down into the depths of this body of water, pitch black, not knowing what's below her, knowing that there are sharks, there are predator fish here, swimming in the pitch black. They couldn't have lights on because lights attract jellyfish, which would likely end her swim, and attract sharks. They could attract other bait fish, which in turn attract more sharks. So she swam in the pitch dark, able to see nothing. Her team only knew where she was by listening to the slapping of her arms on the water as she's swimming for 53 hours. Her nighttime music consisted of one single song. The students know that I will listen to Happy every now and then, and I may listen to that longer than they would like to listen to it. But Diana listened to one song on repeat, and every single night she listened to John Lennon's Imagine 1,000 times in a row. Now, in planning for this, I was prepared to sing a couple short lines to try to jog your memory. But the crowd's much larger than I anticipated, and I'm not going to do that. So if you don't know that song, YouTube it, and you'll hear it 1,000 times in a row. She knew that when she listened to that song 1,000 times in a row, that she would have swam exactly 9 hours and 45 minutes. I think you could have come up with a different playlist for 9 hours and 45 minutes, but that song, if you listen to it and you really listen to the words, it's giving her motivation to keep going through the night, which would be a very solitude moment in her life. She is swimming, can't hear anything. She's all on her own as far as she knows. The swim had its share of challenges for Diana. There were times when she started vomiting because of the seawater, the salty water. She had to wear a jellyfish mask, which was molded silicone mask, fit so tight to her face that it made it hard to breathe, hard to swim. It even wrapped around the inside of her lips to cover any area where a jellyfish might sting her. right? And it was called her jellyfish mask. Extremely hard to breathe in. At one point, she even started to hallucinate from the dehydration. She talks about, in a video she made, she talks about swearing that she saw the Taj Mahal out in the middle of the ocean. And that she actually was thinking about how amazing it was that they spent all that money to build this out in the middle of the ocean. I mean, she's losing it, right? So this is a very, very tough time in her life. But despite those challenges, Diana ended up completing her journey to the shores of Key West. She completed her epic journey, in her words, not because she was special, not because she was gifted, but because she never gave up. The journey that she started back in 1978, when she was 28 years old, she finally completed 35 years later at the age of 63. This story was amazing when I found it for a number of reasons. And I think it teaches many, many lessons to you, specifically the class of 2014, that I think you need to commit to memory and apply to your lives. Commitment is something that seems to be disappearing from our society as time goes on. Generations come and go. This world is a fast-moving place. I think we all agree with that. And we're taught to go after what you want, but if you don't get it right away, just change course. Try something or someone else, and you'll find what you're looking for. The truth is, nothing in this life is easy. Everything you will do in the next decade takes major commitment to accomplish. Finishing high school, finishing college, getting married, having kids, all of those things take a fierce level of commitment and dedication to complete. God, of course, wants you to be successful in those things. And to be successful in those things, I think you need commitment in a couple of key areas in your life. First, I think you need to be committed to who you are as a person, who you've been raised to be. We all have certain things that are important to us, whether it's saving yourself for marriage, whether it's what profession you want to be when you grow up, or where you want to live when you finally move out of your parents' house, which will happen. These types of things may have been instilled in you by your parents, or they may just be something that you've decided at a point in your life that this is important to me, and I'm not going to give on this, whatever it is. I'm not going to give an inch on that. It seems that in this day and age, the world's filling up with a generation of young people who are willing to change who they are and what they're about as often as the top song changes on the music chart or the top app changes in the app store. Changing what they stand for based on what celebrities are doing or what their friends think is cool. Staying committed to who you are is not an easy task. When I was your age, there was one particular area in my life that I was not willing to negotiate, and that was drinking. I was raised in an Adventist home, so not drinking is pretty common. However, I had two brothers who were also raised in the same home, taught the same things I was, and yet they ended up drinking at various times in their lives. I was determined that I was not going to make that mistake. So through high school, when a good portion of my friends were drinking, through college, when it seemed like everybody was drinking, I continued to stand strong and to not drink. I was determined not to make that mistake. That meant oftentimes I was the only person in the room or at any particular get-together that wasn't drinking. That's tough. I had many people, some of whom I would consider to be my best friends, trying to get me to compromise and take a drink. I'm very proud to stand before you today, having never had a drink my entire life. But I don't tell you this so that, you'll congratulate me or pat me on the back. But I only tell you that so that you know it can be done. People will always try to get you to compromise who you are. They will do it in very small ways. They'll try to get you to compromise the type of music you listen to. Maybe the types of conversations you have. Maybe the types of things you look at on the internet. The list will go on and on. And if you are not totally committed to who you are and what you are about, you will stumble and fall. This world needs each of you to stand for more than the latest trends and to be committed to the change in this crazy world. And you can be that change, not on your own, but with help. And that leads into the second area of your life where you need a fanatical level of commitment. Commitment to your relationship with Jesus Christ. Obviously, the foundation in your life should be that relationship that you have with Jesus. With him as your best friend, you will find the strength to remain committed in other aspects of your life, to who you are, even in the face of a strong and equally committed enemy. You know from your years in school, and from what I heard during the parent tributes, that it's possible to cram before a test and still do relatively well on it. Some of you I know do that more than others. I'm certainly not condoning this method, but it is possible. And that may work on the occasional test, but that will not work with your relationship with Jesus Christ. Putting off that relationship until you are older is not a recipe for success. You need to commit to that relationship and take advantage of every day that you have to build it as strong as it can be. Inevitably, there will be times in your life that are so hard that you think you can't go on. These times will shake the foundation of who you are and leave you at your lowest point. Last school year, I experienced one of those times in my life. Many of you will remember that last year my brother passed away. And that was by far my lowest point in my life. I was left questioning almost everything that I had been taught growing up. I honestly didn't think that God cared. And my initial reaction was to turn from him. It was by far the hardest time in my life. Even though my initial reaction was to turn from God, I soon realized that he was the only person that could help me through this time in my life. My commitment to my relationship with Jesus has helped me get over the hump and is what gives me hope each day moving forward. When you commit to your relationship with Jesus, you will feel the strength to make it through the hard times that you will experience and to stand up to the peer pressure that is pulling you to compromise your commitment and your values to who you are. Your connection with Jesus will give you the courage to step out of the box and try things that other people think are crazy and impossible. That connection that you build with your Heavenly Father will give you the courage to live your life in a bold way. You'll not have to listen to your friends who would rather sit on the couch and tell you what you're about to try is impossible. Because when you reach for big things, when you reach for the horizon like Diana did, not willing to give up, I'm sorry to tell you, you will fail sometimes. You will fall short. But in the midst of those failings, you will build a level of commitment and continue to try. You will be laying a foundation that builds your character and your spirit, and a foundation that will give you courage as you do amazing things with Jesus by your side. I challenge you to commit every day that you are on this earth to be the best that you could be. That means committing to who you are, committing to your relationship with Jesus, and committing that no matter what comes your way, that you will continue to push forward and make a difference. I'd like to end with a quote from Henry David Thoreau. He said, "When you achieve your dreams, it's not so much what you get as who you become in achieving them." Having been here for 5 years, each one of you, class of 2014, means a lot to me. And I pray a blessing on each of you, and I know you guys will do amazing things. Thank you.
It is my honor this evening to present the President's Education Award to some of our graduates. This award is given to students for academic excellence in 2 areas. First of all, they have to have a very high GPA, and second, they score very high on their standardized testing as well. When I call your name, please come forward, and you can stand up here on the platform. Please remain until I've called all of the names, and then I have a letter to share with you. Kaylee Marie Alonso. Crystal Raquel Collins. Sophia Estelle Dent Crick. Benjamin Dronin. Lisa Louise Johnston. The following letter is an official letter from the White House, signed by Barack Obama. Please accept my congratulations on receiving the President's Education Award. I am pleased to join your family, friends, and teachers in honoring this tremendous achievement. America's continued success depends on how well your generation is prepared for the future, and this special recognition is a testament to the dedication and skill you have shown in the classroom. I am proud of you for pushing yourself academically, and I am counting on you to continue to set a good example and help others whenever you have the opportunity. Smart, driven young people like you remind me that America's best days are yet to come. And as long as you continue to stay focused on your education and work hard, no dream will be beyond reach. Congratulations again. I hope this award inspires you to continue seeking out new challenges and setting your sights on new horizons. I wish you all the best for the years ahead. In addition, it is also my honor to recognize students that have been at Village School for the majority of their elementary educational experience. It has been a real joy to watch you grow and mature over the years. For some staff, it has been 8 or 9 years that they have watched you grow. Please hold your applause till the end, and I will be recognizing 2 groups. Our first group is our students who have been at Village School from 1st grade all the way through 8th grade. We have 2 students in that category, Ben Dronin, go ahead and please stand, Ben, and Emmy Gustafson. Our second group are our students that have been at the Village School from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. We have Allison Barnum, Madeline Bush, Nick Collard, Philip Kissinger, Molly Kurtz, and Kelton Wales. You can be seated. Lastly, I'd just like to take this opportunity at 8th grade graduation to recognize and give thanks to our village church. You know, it was many, many years ago that the village church had the vision to raise up a school, and I am so glad that they did. They had the vision to have a school that honors God, where their children could be brought before Him and learn about Him every day. This class and every graduating class before them are the fruits of our labor. And I just appreciate our Village Church family and the support that they give to our school each and every year. Thank you.
Good evening. I come as a representative from Andrews Academy, and I have a number of scholarships to give out this evening. My father was drafted into the U.S. Army in between the wars of Korea and Vietnam. He went to boot camp in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. And he told me this story when I was a little boy, and it has everything to do with Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. One of the things they like to do to you in boot camp is to call you out to the parade ground at all kinds of hours of the day, morning and night, any number of times during the day. You have to appear like magic and stand for hours in the blasting heat or in the freezing desert cold. And there would be inspection after inspection after inspection. And one particular evening, they were mustered out to the parade ground, not just one unit of men, but every single draftee on the entire fort was mustered out onto the parade ground. And they told them that there was going to be, shall we say, a harvest taken. The Marines, it seemed, needed 100 men. And the Marines were looking for people that were bright, intelligent, mentally tough, physically strong, trustworthy, all the qualities that you would want in a good soldier. But they wanted somebody that was independent in thought, capable of long endurance and commitment to a specific task. They were rather nebulous as to exactly what this task was going to be. But in the 1950s, the Marines had a reputation of born killers. They killed with a vengeance. They killed with intelligence. They were the best of the best of the best of the best. My father stood on the parade ground, and as these men from the Marines came across the parade grounds, selecting just a few, they needed just 100 of the very best that could be taken from Fort Sam Houston to be trained for a special task that required you to operate for perhaps years with no leadership whatsoever at all, never giving an inch on the task you were assigned to do. And as the men came across the parade ground, they had picked their 100, they loaded them into trucks, and they disappeared in the night. My father was not chosen. The men had not gotten to him, had not gotten to his section. They got the 100 they were looking for, and they left. Oh, there was gossip all over the parade ground and in the barracks that night as to what was going on. The born killer thing kept coming up. These guys were going to be spies. They were going to be mercenaries. They were going to be behind lines. They were going to be, and the rumors went on and on and on. But what really startled everybody was 2 days later, the same trucks rolled back up, and 70 of the 100 offloaded with their rucksacks, went back to their bunks, and that was it. Everybody said, "What are you doing back?" Well, it seems as though the Marines had made a mistake. The 70 that they brought back were all Seventh-day Adventist boys. Conscientious objectors. They wouldn't carry a firearm. But they had the look of intelligence. They had the glow of physical strength and mental toughness and loyalty. They had inspired those Marine officers that were experts at profiling human character with just a glance in the face. They call it profiling today, and we're not supposed to do it, but it can be done. I've done it tonight. I'm a little bit of an outsider. I don't teach at Village School. I don't attend here at Village Church. But as I look across this group of young people, you folks are inspiring. I can see it in your eyes. I don't know exactly who you are by name, but I had fun sitting up here on the platform guessing who was going to get the awards just by the look in your eye, how you carry yourself, how you spoke when you took the podium tonight. I know that in this church, row after row after row after row, all the way to the back and outside of this building, not even here tonight, are people that have sacrificed to make sure that you were here tonight. And I know for a fact tonight that if Mr. Marden was to offer them a refund on the education because it was a failure, not one of them would take 1 penny back. You are worth it. And in your face and in your eyes is reflected the image of your Maker. Now, the awards I have here tonight, I'm going to give to people that I barely even know. I know your name. In fact, I practiced saying them on the way. These names were selected by people who know you very well. They have watched you since you played in first grade at recess. Remember when you got 3 recesses a day? Wasn't that hot stuff? You thought you were going to die when you got into 7th and 8th grade, and you got how many, you didn't know if you could make it. And now you're going to be going to high school. And it is my hope and my desire, by giving out these small scholarships tonight, that hope will be ignited in your heart that you can afford. In fact, you cannot afford not to afford getting a Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. And if I could push you and nudge you and cajole you and beg you, it would be Andrews Academy. There are other options. Perhaps they fit you better. But I would like to think that tonight, Andrews Academy is a place for you. These scholarships are worth $500, and these little sheets of paper that look so nice on the side I'm looking at are redeemable for your first semester at school. And this evening, by virtue of your achievements recognized by your teachers and your principals, I would like to invite, as I read the names, for you to come forward and receive this scholarship award from Andrews Academy. First name is Nate Greenhoff. Pearl Arkazinski. Ben Dronin. Smiley Tan.
You're fine. I'll come over. Mrs. Baldwin, it's my privilege to present to you the 8th grade graduating class of 2014. Each graduate receiving a diploma this evening has successfully completed all the requirements established by the Michigan Conference. Graduates, when I call your name, please come forward and receive your diploma. Pearl Arkazinski. Ben Dronin. Maddie Bush. Kelton Wales. Sophia Dencrick. Nate Greenhaw. Andrew McLaughlin. Rebecca Thomas. Daniel Marsh. Sophie Miller. Nick Collard. Molly Kurtz. Allison Barnum. Levi Woodard. Kaylee Alonzo. Philip Kissinger. Crystal Collins. Ethan Drew. Emmy Gustafson. David Fernandez. Lisa Johnston. Taewon Kim. Julie Kelly. Smiley Tan.
We want to thank you for coming out tonight, and we would love to have you join us for refreshments in the Family Center after prayer. Please stand and bow your heads. Dear God, thank you for being with us every day through all the good and bad. We couldn't have accomplished this milestone without you. Bless all our friends and family that came out and that have come tonight to watch us graduate. We are so thankful for our teachers at the Village School who are so kind and have taught us about you. We know that you will be with us as we take this new step into the future. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. I have a few announcements before we all get up and leave. If you would like pictures of the cake, please go right back to the Family Center so that they can begin cutting it so that we can eat it. And then please look for your child's picture on the tables in the Family Center. That table is designated for your family.